All right, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in Modify Minds, where passion for cars and good vibes collide. All right. So today, well, actually, it's history in the making because this is our first ever episode. Obviously, we're hoping for 100 more in the future, but today we're gonna start off with a bang. All right, so and that's why we are very honored to be joined by not just one but two very distinguished guests on the show. And what's special about them is that they are a father and son duo. So how cool is that, huh? Hey, father and son get to work on the cars. So let's welcome, put your hands together. Allow me to present you Bill and Dylan Brinkworth. All right. Thank you for coming on the show, man. Good to have you guys here. Man. Yeah. So for our audience out there, would you mind sharing with us like who you are, what you guys do, that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Yeah. My name is Bill Brinkworth. This is my son, Dylan Brinkworth. We're both car builders. We do custom cars and restoration on mainly older Japanese vehicles.
Okay. Mainly Japanese vehicles from the older models.
The older models, yeah. We use some other cars too as well, but mainly we kind of more are specializing in the older JDMs.
Right. Okay. So I'm just curious, like where that inspiration come from for you. I mean, for the for Dylan, it's not hard to imagine that he's probably just born and raised in that kind of environment already, right? Seeing your dad work around in the shop, and it's just come natural for him, right, Dylan? Yeah. So it's naturally you want to follow your old man's footsteps, kind of thing. But for Bill, I mean, does the same thing apply to you, or do you come from a background like that?
Absolutely, yeah. It kind of started the same. I work with my father building scale models. We did like architectural models and stuff like that. And then I learned a lot of things from him over the years doing scale models. We got into the racing industry. And we built scale models of the race cars for the IndyCar teams to give away to sponsors and appreciation of the year and stuff like that. And I learned a lot of things that I now adapt to my car building now. And the same goes with like my son. Like he's been around the shop since he was in diapers. I was changing diapers while at the same time I was working on cars. So he was always looking over my shoulder, seeing what was going on. And then when he got old enough, I started teaching him small things here and there, how to get to, to learn things and on belt cars, from oil changes to, just basic things. And then he worked his way up and now he does a lot of the same things that I do too now.
Hey, so apprentice to one day the master himself. All right, so it's funny that you mentioned that, your family background, like your father used to be okay. So in this picture, is that him in the picture right here?
Yes, yeah, that's my father and I there in front of one of the scale models.
Right. Okay. So that definitely kind of like influenced the way you work.
Yes, absolutely.
And,
yeah,
to your craft.
Attention to detail and learning how to do certain techniques like molding and casting and filling and actual structural things like building things from scratch, like that was the way it was. It wasn't just building up model kits. This was actually, these were drawings sent to us from the race teams. And then we would make these from scratch. Like we didn't have, laser printers or laser cutters or 3D printers now. They have now that, right? But back then we just had our own hand tools and stuff, right? Saws and stuff like that. So that's how we made the models back in the day.
Right. Okay, so there are similarities between building scale cars and the actual vehicles. Like
absolutely,
yeah, it actually translated into another field. Okay, well that's so very cool.
Yeah, especially in the custom side of it, right? Like because you think outside of the box. It's not like just sort of taking a minivan and repainting it a different color and stuff like that. We're not into that. We want to take something and use our imagination to sort of bring sort of visions to reality. Like different looks that people just may not thought of, right? To be ahead of the game with the other car stuff.
Right. Okay, yeah. Roger that, right? That's understandable. Man. Okay, so it's funny that you mentioned customization, which we're going to talk about later on, because I believe throughout the years, you guys have been asked to do like maybe outrageous or crazy things, and maybe along the way, there are challenges, right, being thrown at you, or just crazy requests. You're like, oh my God, no, this is not, this is not doable, or something like that, right?
Very true. Yeah, there was a lot of customers over the years that I dealt with that they had cars that, like, I don't really want to call them out on like on
Of
it, but
course,
there were
no
certain
names.
cars that people spent. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But there were cars that I worked on that you would not want to. You would never think of spending that much money on that vehicle because it went way over and above the actual value of the car. But it was what they liked, and you just build what they want, right? So.
Right, right. So your brand, DB Works, right? That's your company logo, right? So I would assume D stands for Dylan and B stands for yourself, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is there any like story behind that? Because like was that one day Dylan be like, hey, why why do you always put B in front of D? Like I should go first, you know? Was there some kind of like arguments or debate about who comes first, you know, that kind of thing?
No, not really. No, over the years I went from BC Auto Salon to Brinkworth Custom Shop to Brinkworth Brothers when I worked with my brother. And then it got to where he's old enough now. I think, he's helping me in the shop. We should have our own brand, because we made a good enough name together, building our Datsun 240Z. That we thought, like this should be more of a father-son thing than and carry on that way. At least he can carry on the legacy. It's still his initials too.
Right. So was that the milestone, the Datsun 240Z, which we have a lot of pictures to show you guys. So was that the milestone where you decide, okay, well, this can be like a legit father and son project, and we can actually, make a name for ourselves as a team, as a duo, as a tag team? Was that kind of the milestone where everything started?
I suppose it is. Yeah, we didn't. When we started out doing it, we didn't think of it as being like a stepping stone to anything larger than it was. It was just he had helped me around the shop so much doing different things on customers' cars and whatsoever that I thought, it'd be kind of cool. Him and I should do a project together. So that's how it came about. We just I got this vehicle from my a good friend of mine that I used to go to high school with, and it was dying in his front yard.
Okay. So yeah. The friend. Okay. So let me just show some images here to help our listeners and viewers understand what kind of beauty we're talking about here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. sorry to interrupt you. Yeah. Okay. No, yeah. So you got this car from a friend of yours. Yeah.
Yes, I got it from a friend of mine that I used to go to high school with. Him and I used to drive. Well, he drove it around in high school. We used to go and meet girls and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun to drive, right? So, but then he parked it when he got himself an SUV. It had air conditioning and all those other things. So he kind of like, it's time to have a little more comfort than the performance type car, right? But it sat there for years and years and years. And as you see in the picture there, the red one, that's the way it was.
Okay. This is what it was when you found them. Yeah.
Yeah. We had to cut a tree down inside it to actually get it out of there. So, and I brought it back home and I showed my son. I'm like, what do you think? Right? It was like, is this something that you think you'd be interested in possibly doing a project together? And he's like, I guess so, Dad. Like, seems like a lot of work. But we just slowly just ate at it and try to get it running and whatsoever. But it was really rusted around the wheel wells, so we thought, it'd be nice to do some fender flares. Yeah. So we designed our own fender flares, very similar to the Rocket Bunny, but they didn't have one out for the Datsun 240 at that time. They only had it on the R7. So we looked at the shape and we thought, we'll follow the same body line so it flows and whatsoever. And that's how it kind of got created from there. We it's been through a lot of different changes. Like
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just orange when we first did it. Later on, we added the camouflage and everything else, and it just kind of snowballed from there. I think we're done now. I'm pretty sure we've done all we want to do to it now, and now we're moving on to his new project, his truck. So
Right. So Dylan, what's your side of the story? Like, what was your instant reaction when you saw your dad decided to bring home this, a hidden gem, or it depends on how you look at it. Yeah. What was on your mind?
A lot of work. Too much work.
A lot of work. Yeah.
Too
All right.
much work.
Too much work. All right. But you guys got through, and like Bill said, the project actually has undergone some multiple transitions, right? One thing that interests me, that caught my eye, is, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. So this is the car, maybe in the initial stages.
That was I think that was its second livery, but yeah, that was its first stages pretty much. Yeah.
Right. And is this the man, the myth, the legend, Akira Nakai-san in the photo here?
Yeah, he was down in Vancouver doing one of his builds, and somebody invited me down there to come and see him or whatever. So we brought the Z down or whatever, and he came out and had a look at it, and he's a man of very few words, right? So, but he says, "Oh, very nice, very nice." That's all. I was happy that
that was enough.
Appreciates it, because he'd never seen those fender flares before, right? And he's, of course, that's his thing, right? He's all
my body. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we had to. That's right. Yeah. So the fenders alone, like, you guys have to customize it, because you said there was no parts available for this particular model.
That's correct. We made them from scratch out of body filler and fiberglass and all sorts, and then we made fiberglass molds from that, and then we laid them up and made our first set. But once we made our first set, it kind of went crazy once we leaked that out to on Instagram and whatsoever. Everybody wanted them. So we probably have about 70 sets all over the world. People have actually ordered from us, and we still do it in house. Like we do stuff. So
yeah, I mean, people appreciate that kind of thing. When you talk about in-house, it doesn't matter what industry it is in, like watchmaking, chronology, for example. We're talking about in-house movement. I mean, that automatically speaks volume.
It's all hand-braided. There's no automation.
Right. Yeah. It has souls in it. Right, it's not like mass produced, like you just put into machines, blood, sweat, and tears, literally sometimes. Right.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. So, this car, the Datsun 240Z, is actually the one that won you the Hot Wheel Legend Award. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
Am I saying this right? Yeah.
Yeah. We it was the first. I think it was the 50th anniversary Hot Wheels Legends tour they decided to do, and we saw it. It was advertised as to sign up for this show or whatever. You send up a picture, and then they see whether it's something that they might want you in their show type thing. So we got an email back saying that you've been accepted to the show, but it's in Seattle, right? So we're like, okay, well it's fine. And we went down, just thinking it's just another show. It's kind of cool, like we've done so many times before. And they came around to us, and they interviewed us and asked us, so how did it all come about? The usual story, like how, it's father-son thing and whatsoever. And then didn't think anything of it. We just walked around the show and stuff. And then we got announced that we were the winners. And we went up there, and it was like, I didn't know that it was like we're going to SEMA with the car, that when we win that we will get our car made into a Hot Wheels. Like, this was, and it was all expense paid thing. They'll transport your car to Las Vegas. It's like, what? Like, I was just totally just floored. We've been at so many shows before, and it's not about the shows for us. We like sure, it's nice to, show the car off and whatever, but the awards, it is what it is. It's just, we just enjoy the whole, feeling of driving there and stuff like that. But this was like on another level. Like when we won, it was just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. We're going to SEMA. Like this is not a SEMA build really, like we just sort of put them together to have fun and enjoy it. But it's not like, this is not like a ground up restoration type SEMA build, but still it was what they were looking for, all about the, the built in your own garage type thing and all that kind of thing. Right. And the family, aspect of it. And so, yeah. And it looked like a Hot Wheels type style thing. Right. So,
yeah, look at the smile. The smile says it all. Right?
Oh yeah, that was right. That was right when we won right there. Yeah, it was,
right.
It was great.
So I'm a millennial kid. I was born in '84, and Hot Wheels is something that was always there. In our toy set. So I don't know about you, Bill or Dylan. Like, do you guys grow up with the Hot Wheels, that kind of like model cars as well?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, as I said before, as far as the family business, we're all about models and toys.
Oh yeah.
Like that.
That's true, right?
But as soon as he was able to hold something, he was holding the Hot Wheels in his hand when he was little, right? So, and racing around.
Yeah. So Dylan, how did that feel like at that moment and seeing? Okay, so was the model car being produced now? Like, can we see it out on the market right now?
No.
Or is it just exclusive kind of thing?
It was just, they said that they will get to it, but I just have no idea when that's actually going to happen, to be honest.
Okay.
But yeah, it eventually will happen, but sure. But
yeah.
We talked to a lot of the designers. We had a couple of them sign the dash for us when we were actually at SEMA, the Hot Wheels designers. So it was kind of cool talking to them, and some of those guys are legends because they designed some of the cars I remember when I was little playing with, right? So
right, yeah. I see some of those group photos where you met a lot of big names in the industry for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so we're curious, like, you guys essentially are artists, like, so when you look at a blank canvas, like, a bending car or whatever, what was that, what was that creative process like? Can you like briefly just kind of walk us through, like, are you guys the kind of guys that when you look at a blank canvas and you would have the vision in your head, oh, okay, I want this color of wheels, or I want this style of body kit, this style of headlights, that kind of thing? Or are you guys you just work your way through and see what happens and go with the flow? Or does it really, it just depends on the situation? What was that creative process like?
I guess, yeah, like what you said there, the actual vision is there, but that there is times where, like, for instance, with his truck is the next project now, right? So he had a vision of what he thought, would look really nice. But it evolves, as you're going along, you think, wow, it'd be really cool if we did this on the body line, we changed that and made it look a little more like this. Or,
are you talking about Dylan's truck right now? Are you talking about the Dylan's project, the blue truck?
The blue truck, yeah, exactly.
Right, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we go through color schemes and all sorts, right? Like, so, but he right off the bat knew what the color he wants, the accent color that he wants, and then it just sort of, but it does evolve, like, for sure. Like, it's not always set in stone, but we can visualize. I've got him to the point where he's like me, like I can visualize it completed already. Like, looking at something that just looks awful, other people look at it and say, like, how do you see that? But it's just, I don't know. It's just, and I can't wait. I sometimes can't sleep because I just think, can't wait to get that next part done to see that. It's just, it's what keeps me going. It's an excitement, and he has the same excitement too. He's sees things before they're done too, and he's like, oh, that looks so good. Or, if we lowered that, or if we put those kind of wheels on it, or whatever. So it's nice that we're on that same level of being able to visualize something.
Right. Has that level of excitement ever collided in your workshop? What I mean is that yeah, I guess, like for partners, father and son, friends, whatever. Obviously, you guys must have some sort of experience of, oh no, I want this. No, this one look better. No, I want that one. Who would actually win, and what's the how do things turn out?
I don't know if there's a winner in the end, but I know that he does have his sort of likes and dislikes and whatever. And some things, like I can't think of one off the top of my head right now, but there was, oh yeah, the Genos, for instance. So the Datsun 240. I like the Genos because it's an addition to the front of the 240 that is a very classic race car thing. He can't stand it. He's like, no. And the other 240 that
Genos, do we have that in the picture here?
Don't have a picture of it. No.
Okay, that's cool. Right.
But,
so he's not into it.
Oh no, not at all. No, but yeah, like that's going to be on the next one. I have the Genos ready to go, and I want to build that for that, right? Because it's classic Japanese race car, but he just won't have it. He's like, no, because I wanted to do it on our others, on our one that we have, say.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, no, Dad, no, you're not doing it. It's not happening. So he has a say for sure, definitely.
Right, for sure. Okay, it's all about respect, one artisan to another.
Yeah, I think every artist should have their own flair and whatever that they can express, right? They don't follow a trend or whatever. I think everybody should have their own opinion and everything. It's fine, right?
Right. So has your work evolved over the years? Like for starters, I mean, in the very beginning, at the stage of your career, I would assume that a lot of inspirations came from, what you grew up with. But as you, started doing it, started your professional career, have you seen yourself evolve as an artist?
I suppose I have, yeah. I mean,
Is a style change at all?
Not really. No, and I think that's the difference between me and I think that's what sets a custom guy apart from every other custom guy is because they have their own sort of style, right? And if they, like me, I don't care what other people think. If you don't like it, you don't like it. It doesn't matter. That's how I like doing it. And it's, like with the exhaust, I like it sticking up at the back and I like things sticking out of the hood. It's just, some people are like, why would you do that? Or why would you flare it out like that? It's just, but that's how I'm going to express what I want to see, and it the same, like if I'm driving down the road and the police are like, those pipes, they're not legal. It's like, okay, well, I can't do anything about it. I'm not going to just say, well, that's not legal, I don't want to do that. Or nobody would like that. They think that's ugly, right? But then you're not doing what you want to do. You're not actually building what you want to do. And I think there's still just as many people going to love that style as much as another person, you know what I mean? It doesn't like it.
Right.
So the thing with the Skyline, for instance, like the Nissan Skyline, I was one of the first people to have an R32 Skyline in Lower Mainland in Canada, right?
Okay.
And the first thing I did was cut it about, I cut the fenders, I made that custom front bumper and everything, and people were like, oh my God, I can't believe you're cutting into a Skyline. I'm like, yeah, but I don't like it like that. I want it to look like this. But they didn't understand it. They were just like, oh, wow, that's just not right. So, but it's
disrespectful, people said.
That's what exactly. It's like, why would you do that to a classic Japanese car? But in Japan, they're a lot like that, though. Like they don't care either. The big custom guys, if they want to see it low, they want to see it wide, they're gonna do it, whether people like it or not. They do some outrageous, crazy things, right? That just look. Me, sometimes I look and think, wow, why would you do that? But it's what they want to do and what they want to express, and that's what I think sets apart a good custom guy, because he's just doing it. You know what I mean? He's out there. Right. So same with the RX is the same thing. I put RSX taillight converters. I mean, RSX at that time when I did that were brand new. They were probably like 2 years old. So people were just like, wow, I can't believe you put RSX taillights in a CRX, right? But it's what I wanted to see. So
right, very original, right? Okay, so
I wouldn't drive it now. but it's Fast and Furious times, right? Like it was what was cool back then, right? So.
Right. It was all about like, crazy letterings, vinyls, crazy body kits. Right.
Yeah.
Like
everything that I did was, we didn't have vinyl wraps back then. That was all airbrushed and everything.
Okay.
So painted.
Right. What we called the Rice Boys back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a big spoiler. That was a must. Okay. Yes. So this is another classic Mazda, right?
Yeah, Mazda RX-7 FD. That was actually a very well-known Takeda racing car from Japan. It was like a time attack car, and it came here. I had it he bought it personal, and it was bright yellow. And he brought it to me, and he wanted it that midnight purple color. So I did was body worked and painted and redid all the carbon for him.
Right. So those are all the cars that you did for clients.
Yes. Yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah. The CRX was mine, and the Skyline was mine. But the RX-7, that was a customer's, and the Honda Fit, and there was there's a lot of, I got pictures of. These are just a handful of the ones. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So these are the words, the trophies. So this is the Honda Fit that we were talking about. Yeah, it was a Honda Fit. It was all on airbags and all sorts. The other one was. But all the fenders were all custom metalwork. They're not like fiberglass or anything like that. They were, because he wanted everything the wheel fitment to be perfect. So it's a lot of time that went into that, just knowing when he could drive it up and down, it would still not rub and everything. So a lot of geometry. Right, I would bet, because like back in the days when we tried to order body kits from overseas, and most times it turn out that the fitment is just not right, so you have to go down to the body shop and get it chopped out or whatever, right? There's always a hustle. Yeah. So this one, the older Skyline, that was one of the first Skylines. Right. And it I put S13 suspension. I made it all custom fit and everything welded there. Right. And clearly you guys do performance upgrades as well, I assume? No, we don't. We do a little bit, but not too much engine building or anything like that. Just custom metalwork stuff, but that's about it. Okay. So like what kind of material do you guys usually use? Because for body kits, you used to be like just fiberglass, right? But now with new tech coming out, I mean, it's 2023 now. Like the 3D printing is out is all the rage. Like, so has the new tech? Have you guys incorporated the new technology into your work, or how has that affected your line of work, per se? I have not really myself, like, if I have to do things, like a lot of time now I do water jet stuff. So if I'm needing a certain profile, I'll get it water jetted out, or I'll get it laser cut out, to save a lot of more time than back in the day where I would I still do mark out stuff and do it all with an angle grinder or a jigsaw or whatever. But, if I can save time now, I use a lot of the newer technology, the water jetting and the laser cutting, and even 3D printing on smaller items and stuff too. Right. Okay. So have you guys ever got any just crazy outrageous requests from your clients? Like, what is the, if you can recall, if there's any, Dylan can answer for this one if he wants. Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know, which one would you say is Viper 40? Yeah, the Viper 240. That's the one that we have on the go too for a customer. It's a Datsun 240Z, the same as ours, but we're doing a Viper swap in it, which is the V10. The Viper swap, are you talking about engine wise or the appearance? Yeah, the Viper engine swap. Yeah. Wow, so it's a V10. It's the only one other person has done it. So I'm not too excited about doing it, but it should be fun. But we've got all of the chassis done with all the cage and everything's already welded, and we have the engine, the transmission ready to go. But it's just time. So right, the physical manual labor work.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Hard work. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. So are you guys working on anything at this particular moment aside from the
Um,
Viper that you just talked about?
besides from that, we're
Dylan's blue truck, right? The truck project.
yeah, mainly we got these mini trucks we work for doing for a customer. Doing a lot of those like the K trucks, the ones from Japan, the right hand drives. So he has a lot of them come in from Japan and they need body work and paint. So that just keeps us going. Sort of, it's like filler jobs. You'll need a bed liner, I'll need rust removal or stuff like that, and we jump on those. They're kind of quick jobs, filler jobs routine, right? But the major ones that we have though is so we have a Mazda RX-7 FC to finish. We have what else we got? 1969 Rover 3500S bodywork and paint. We have a 68 Mustang to finish bodywork paint. So almost pretty much a restoration job on that one. These are all customers too.
Right.
And then we have the one Datsun 240, the Viper swap to do as well.
Right. Yeah. So you guys, do it all. Like not just for like the true like the JDM, but Europeans and American muscles too. Clearly, right?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Right.
Like my background, I started in like muscle and stuff with Mustangs and whatever. It wasn't until, to be honest, when Fast and Furious came out, that's when my business kind of changed because people wanted body kits, people wanted the stereo systems. So I kind of catered more to that. That's where the money was. I lived in Richmond. I had my shop in Richmond at that time, and there was a lot of money there. So that's what we mainly focused on. And then I kind of got a love for the Japanese cars, like the older ones, right? And I just I don't know, but I still like taking those and making them with a little bit of a American muscle feel to them, So they're not just completely Japanese. They've got that sort of muscle to them,
On a hybrid, like a fusion kind of thing, right? The best from both worlds. Dylan, how old were you when the first Fast and Furious movie came out? Because I remember Brian, the character Paul Walker played. He was driving the Eclipse, a '95 Eclipse, I believe, and Vin Diesel was driving like a orange Supra, and that just took the whole world by storm. I mean, every guy after watching the movie, like all of us just wanted to head out to the parking lot and put our keys into the ignition and just go for a spin. Yeah. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. How old were you? Yeah. Were you there?
He was, I don't know if he was.
It was 2009. Oh, 2009. Wait, no, never mind.
When it came out, was it 2000?
I was -6.
He was -6.
All right. Well, it's pretty good with his methods. Right. Okay. Well, we're definitely not gonna comment on any like the movie itself as it evolves from the first original ones to now. I think the 10th one's coming out.
Yeah, I find them enjoyable. I like the first one. No, the first one kind of hit home. It was like, wow, that is cool. Street racing, because I used to do that. It was kind of, I could relate to it. It was exciting. But then it just sort of went off a little bit. Like,
yeah.
A little far-fetched. So.
Right. A little bit. Yeah, conservatively speaking. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it definitely, but the movie definitely changed the ecosystem a lot.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it had a lot of trends for sure. Like in the car culture, like as far as what people wanted and whatsoever they saw, people had that kind of thing, and they're like, "Whoa, I want that." These names kind of were shot out there: Gretty and Tomei and Ray's. Like all these were big names that like, wow, it's on the Fast and Furious. I want it, or Nos. It's like, kind of got. Definitely set a trend for sure in the
for sure. Yeah. So when exactly did you start this Sese brand? In English, it means reborn, right? Like
that's correct.
Giving the car another life, right? To bring them back from the ashes. Exactly. So what was the motive behind it, and what's the vision for that brand for you guys right now?
Well, it again originated from that Datsun 240, the one that we have, the orange one,
right?
Because it literally was very dead, like, you know, with the tree growing through it, it was like left to die. So we thought, you know, I was trying to think we should think of a name to describe the car. You know, everybody like names their car when they have it, so we just thought what would be a good thing, and then, I don't know, it just came up with what's another word for, you know, could we call it Phoenix? Nah, you know. Yeah. And I don't know, let's keep it Japanese, maybe, right? Like that's so, and we thought of that one, Seisei. So, and it kind of stuck. So from there on, we just kind of we've been using that with each one of our projects. So we did my wife's Mini, Austin Mini. We called it the Seisei Mini, right? So and now the truck will be the Seisei 620. So I think it's now our brand that we'd like to build, right? So, right.
So, you know, expanding the collection, the product line for sure. Like, you know, as you go into, for sure. Okay. All right. Well, that's great. Who's this guy in the picture? He looks familiar, but not too familiar. You know, he looks like the singer from a particular band. I could be terribly wrong though.
I don't see the picture yet.
Oh, you don't see the pic? Oh, sorry. Okay. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I got too carried away. Oh, okay. Right here. Here it is.
Walker. Yeah, that's Magnus Walker. He's very well known in the Porsche industry.
Oh, okay. Well, man, I'll probably get trashed by our audience. Be like, oh, what are you talking about? Come on. Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's
okay.
A great guy. Awesome guy.
Right. Okay, and this is for this is at the Hot Wheels event as well, right?
That's correct, at SEMA, yeah.
Okay, right. Oh, I see a T-shirt here. Says a T-shirt. Can our viewers, listeners, go out and buy, you know, some of those accessories?
Not yet, but yeah, we will have a line coming out for sure.
Right. Yep. It's a planning process, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I think we're almost at the end here. You know, last few questions, if you guys don't mind. All right.
Okay.
So one of which is, okay, how do you stay up to date with the new developments in the industry? By that, I could, you know, I mean, I don't know what the market share for electric cars is in North America and in Canada, you know, particularly, but in Asian countries, I mean, they're like, you know, they're the new trend, right? So Tesla is getting more and more common, and for tuning or upgrading those kind of cars, the EVs are quite different from, you know, the traditional gas powered cars. So how do you see the trend in, you know, all those EVs? And yeah, any ideas, opinions on those? Any thoughts?
No, I mean, I could see, it's definitely evolving quite a bit more with the EVs. I mean, my wife owns one, the BMW i3 or whatever it is. Yep. And she loves it. It's great. I myself, I'm not a fan. It is great, because you're saving the fuel and whatsoever. But I feel a lot of guys are adapting it to like a lot of the older vehicles too, right? Which is kind of cool. Yeah, like some of the older American muscles, they're actually putting the electric motors in them, which is kind of you know, people don't want to let that go. You know, like I think there's
nostalgia.
Still sorry,
nostalgia. That could be the reason. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I don't think it's. I honestly don't think it'll ever die. I mean, I don't know if fuel will ever die out either. Like, I mean, I guess it's bound to. I guess eventually, but. But yeah.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be, there's always going to be like two groups of people. One being, you know, the one who stick to the original, the old school, you know, like to hear that downpipe, the sound coming out from that exhaust, you know. And there'll be other ones who, you know, are more into the more advanced new tech, that kind of thing. Right.
Yeah, it's a tough question to ask a custom car guy for sure.
For sure.
But I mean, I know that I've seen a lot of really beautiful Teslas done like customized. They're beautiful. They're on airbags and all sorts. So I mean, it's there. Like I can still see the customizing not coming to an end just because it's going to the EV side of it for sure.
Okay.
I think people will still have their visions and they'll want to have it done to it. So, and that's
right,
cool.
Right. People always want to, find a way to express themselves, right?
Yeah,
express themselves in a unique, special, artistic way. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, so Dylan, what do you have planned for the near future? I'm assuming you're still going to school. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you are in grade
10.
grade 10.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so are you going to schools for this, or do you think you have everything under your belt already? Are you? Do you have any plans to pursue further studies? About mechanics and automotive, that kind of thing.
I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school again. But I feel like I'll just stay doing this. But I don't want to go to school to do it.
Okay, right.
I'm gonna get home and learn it.
Okay, so more hands on.
Oh yeah.
Right. None of that theoretical stuff. You learn it by doing it, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so are you going to maybe outsource or find another I don't know teacher? Was not that your father is not good enough. I'm just saying to expand your horizons.
Possibly. I don't know.
Possibly. Okay. Right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, for a father, because I have a 4-year-old myself. I mean, for any father, it can't get any happier to see your offspring outshines you, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I love it. Yeah, I like to see him take things that do things that I've taught him, and I see him put a spin on it, and it's like, oh my god, why didn't I think of that? But he's just got a different mind, It's like wow, I'm old school. I'll sit there doing something for an hour. He'll look at it and he'll do it in 15 minutes. It's like, oh, I didn't even do that, but he's got that mindset, so it's good. It's good. It's yeah.
Right. For sure. Must be a proud dad, right? To
Absolutely.
see that happen. Yeah, for sure. Make your father proud. Yeah. So is Dylan the only son, or do you have other ones in the family?
I do. I have an older one too. Yeah, he's 21.
Right.
And then 2 daughters. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, a big family.
Yeah. They're my wife's previous marriage, but they're practically my kids too. So yeah.
For sure. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so one final question for you, Bill and Billy. Bill and Dylan. Okay, so I once read a quote that goes like this: "A good tool improves the way you work, but a great tool improves the way you think." So when you guys are at work, what kind of tools do you choose? What kind of tools do you guys usually choose? What are the criteria, or do you have any particular preferences when it comes to what tools to use, that kind of thing?
What would you say? Yeah.
Oh. I don't know, dude. No. I don't know.
I mean, all sorts. We use air tools and hand tools and stuff like that. My preference as far as for mechanics wise and stuff, is OSK tools. Those are
right.
They're beautiful quality.
Right.
And
right.
Yeah, I've used yes, exactly. I've used a lot of tools over the years, Snap-on and Craftsman, and I still use them. But I tell you, since I used OSK, the quality and everything else and the durability of them is beautiful.
Right. No doubt. Thank you. All right. So I think that is all the questions we have for today. All right. And guys, if you like what you are seeing and you want to, follow them on Instagram, I think we have the Instagram pages here. just show you guys. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna wrap this up. All right, so like I said, DB Works, all right, based in Canada, Langley, right? And follow them on Instagram. Okay, if you ever need them, look them up, hit them up, and they will hook you up. All right, well, thank you for your time, guys, and looking forward to seeing more of your works in the near future. All right.
Sounds good. Thanks very much.
Okay. All right, and that's all the time for me today. And thank you guys for sticking around, and stay safe. And I'll see you guys down the road. Till next time, peace.
With the podcast editing nearing completion, we're thrilled to share that Dylan has successfully finished his impressive truck modification project. Feast your eyes on these captivating pictures showcasing his remarkable build.